So let us start now. Laws relating to women and provisions for representation. In the post-independence period, efforts were made for empowering women. Means after the independence, many efforts were done to make the women powerful, to increase the status of the women in India. Taking into consideration the problems of women, several policies have been adopted at national and international level to remove illiteracy among them and to make available opportunities for their development. So after independence, while taking efforts to empower the women, their problems were considered कि किस तरह के प्रॉब्लम्स वुमेन को होते हैं, those problems were considered, and on the international and national level several policies have been adopted, so that because at that time the real problem of the women was that there was illiteracy. So to remove the illiteracy among the women की illiteracy को दूर करना, as well as to make available the opportunities for their overall individual development. So in this way, several policies have been adopted on the national and international level to uplift the women. The right to have an equal share in the property of the father and husband. So some laws have been created, some acts have been created that made the women's favorable environment for women. So some of them are that the right to have an equal share in the property of her father and husband. Father और husband के property में male इतना ही equal share, she got the right to have the equal share in the property, उसको equal share मिलने लगा. Then dowry prohibition, दहेज को रोकने के लिए, दहेज प्रथा को रोकने के लिए dowry prohibition act बनाया गया. Act against sexual harassment, domestic violence prohibition act are some important provisions which create a favorable environment for protection of freedom of women and securing their development. So in this way, these are the important acts or provisions on which wave can be asked us. So which laws are made or which provisions are made to create the favorable conditions for the protection of freedom of women or securing their development? So the first, right to have an equal share in the property of the father and husband. Father or husband के property में equal share means to male को जितना equal share मिलता है भाई को या पति को जो equal share होता है वही share हमको भी मिलता है. Dowry Prohibition Act Against Sexual Harassment, Domestic Violence Prohibition Act, ऐसे acts बनाए गए जो so that government could create favorable environment for the freedom of women, protection of freedom of women, and for the overall development of women. In our country, from the very beginning, शुरुआत से ही, since the beginning, women have inadequate representation in politics and political institutions. Means शुरुआत से ही हमारे country में women have a secondary place. Women को secondary place, and that's why their representation in politics or the political institutions was not adequate. उतना sufficient representation women का in political institutions में और politics में नहीं होता था. Many countries in the world have made effort to increase representation of women, and for this purpose, because 50% section of the society is women, and that's why their representation is essential in the politics or in political institutions, and that's why many countries in the world have made efforts to increase their representation. From this perspective point of view, changes are taking place in India as well. इसी उद्देश्य से in respect of this for increasing the representation of women, India has also done lot of changes. So in the 73rd and 74th amendment of the Constitution, India has given 33% reservation of seats for the women in local self-governing institution. 33% reservation of seats have been given to women. This percentage has been raised to 50% in several states. Amongst them, Maharashtra is also there. Means ये 33% का रेशियो जो है 73rd और 74th amendment of constitution से दिया गया था for women. This increased to 50%. 50% reservation of seats women को दिया गया. Many states of India have given this 50% reservation of seats in the political institutions, means the legislative assembly or parliament. So Maharashtra is also in that. Maharashtra has also given women in Maharashtra 50% reservation of seats. A national commission for women has been established in India for protecting the rights of women. National Commission for Women, ये इंस्टीट्यूशन, ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विमेन के राइट्स को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए एस्टैब्लिश की गई. सिमिलर कमीशंस आर आल्सो एग्जिस्ट एट द स्टेट लेवल. स्टेट लेवल पर भी ऐसे ही कुछ कमीशंस को एस्टैब्लिश किया गया सो दैट दे शुड एम्पावर द विमेन, दे शुड प्रोटेक्ट द राइट्स ऑफ विमेन. The Act for the Protection of Women, we have seen that against domestic violence, right? Act for the Protection against Domestic Violence. It is an important step in the direction of democracy. Democracy के लिए, for the democracy, for sustaining the democracy, for making democracy very strong, for the protection of women against domestic violence, this act is made, and this act is an important step for the democracy. This act underlined the need to protect the dignity and self-esteem of women. This act proved, this act made realize that we have to protect dignity and self-esteem of women. Women की dignity, self-respect, self-esteem, मान सम्मान हमने बचाना चाहिए. ये act हमें ये बताता है. This act rejected traditional forms of domination. What is traditional forms of domination? Indian society is a male dominated society. Means there is the domination of men. मेन का डोमिनेशन, पुरुषों का डोमिनेशन हर जगह हमें दिखाई देता है. आइदर इट इज पॉलिटिकल, सोशल, लोकल लेवल पर हो, वेर एवर वी सी दैट वी फाइंड द डोमिनेशन ऑफ द मेल. बट विद दिस एक्ट it is rejected. Traditional forms of domination reject कर दिया उसको कि सिर्फ male do not have the right to dominate the society, dominate the politics or any social institution. And authoritarianism and expanded the scope of Indian democracy to make it inclusive in true sense. Afterward, domination is rejected as well as the authoritarianism, means the male have only authority, that has been also rejected, and then it expanded the scope of Indian democracy. Wide range, it made the Indian democracy wide ranging, expanding the scope. Indian democracy का scope बढ़ा दिया and made it all inclusive in true sense. All inclusive, सबको include, डेमोक्रेसी में सबको include किया जाना चाहिए. ऐसी डेमोक्रेसी इंडिया में अवेलेबल हुई. See, it is the representation of women in लोक सभा. इंडिया में लोकसभा में इंडियन विमेन का रिप्रेजेंटेशन क्या है वो इस टेबल में दिया हुआ है. ईयर्स, नंबर ऑफ विमेन एमपीज एंड देयर परसेंटेज. 1951 to 52 first election was held. In this election only 22 women MPs were there, means only 4.50% ratio was that. Then 57, 22, 4.50, 45%, 62, 31, 628, 67, 29, 5.58, 71, 28, 5.41%, 77, 19, 3.51%, 80, 28 5.29%, 84 43 7.95%, 89 29 5.48%, 91 39 3.7 7.30%, 96 40 7.37%, 98 43 7.92%, 99 49 9.02%, 4 2004 45 8.29%, 2009 59 10.87%, 2014 66 highest, okay, 12.15%. If we observe this chart till 1980, the ratio of the women representation was very less. Amongst it, 1977 was the lowest, means minimum representation was there. Only 19 women were the MPs. But after 1984, this ratio, this participation of the women in the politics increased. With little fluctuations, it increased, and in 2014 it was the highest. Maximum members were the women in Indian Assembly. They were Lok Sabha, that were the 66 was that. Some questions are also given here, in which election year the number of the women MPs in minimum, that is 1977, 19 women MPs only there. Then maximum number was in 2014, that is 66. And you can use this chart to create the pie chart, bar graph you can make. Okay, you can utilize this information to create this. What do you think? The visibility of to women is very low in public life. If family structure, social surrounding, economic sector, political sphere become more open, women will get a chance to participate in the decision making process. Visibility of to women is very low in public, means women do not participate in public life. Public life में women participate नहीं करती. But if we have changed the family structure, social surroundings, economic sector, political sphere, अगर हमने इसको open कर दिया, if we open these sectors, open कर दिया, उनको free कर दिया, then women will get a chance to participate in the decision making process. Decision making process में women को participate करने की opportunity मिलेगी. That can provide a different direction to the Indian politics, जिसकी वजह से Indian politics को एक नई दिशा मिलेगी. We can go in a different direction, we can improve, we can develop in the politics. So for this purpose, women's participation should be increased in the representative institutions, और इसीलिए women का participation बढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है. Now, role of judiciary. Judiciary means courts, हमारी न्याय व्यवस्था. The judiciary in India has played an important role in strengthening democracy and helping to make towards achieving the objectives of social justice and equality. So, judiciary in India has played an important role. Means judiciary has the role, part of the tiger, okay, tiger part, we can say a major role. It has been played a major role by the judiciary to make Indian democracy strong. Indian democracy को strong बनाने के लिए judiciary ने एक lion share किया है, बहुत ही important role play किया है in helping to make toward achieving the objectives of social justice and equality. Apart from that, judiciary helps us to अचीव द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड इक्वालिटी। सोशल जस्टिस और इक्वालिटी जैसे ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को अचीव करने के लिए भी हम जुडिशियरी ने एक बहुत ही मेजर रोल प्ले किया है। While interpreting the provisions of the Constitution, the judiciary has always taken into consideration the fundamental objectives of the Constitution and also the intentions of the Constitution makers. The provisions of the constitutions are interpreted by the judiciary system. हमारे judiciary system that explain the provisions of the constitution, and while doing this, judiciary has always taken into the consideration of the fundamental objectives of the constitution. Constitutions के fundamental objectives क्या है, and what were the intentions of the constitution makers. constitution बनाने वालों के intentions क्या थे इसको बनाते समय. Fundamental objectives of the constitution and the intentions, aims of constitution makers have been always considered by the judiciary system while explaining the provisions of the constitution. Constitutions के provisions को interpret करते समय judiciary system ने constitutions के fundamental objectives क्या है, constitutions बनाने वालों के intention क्या थे constitution बनाते समय, इन बातों को ignore नहीं किया है, उन्हें हमेशा consider करके ही provisions को explain किया है. We will try to understand the contribution of the judiciary in this regard with the help of the following points. नीचे points दिए हैं. With the help of those points, we will try to understand judiciary's contribution, that how judiciary system has interpreted the provisions of the constitution and tried to create the social justice and equality. First, the basic framework of the constitution, basic structure of the constitution. The constitution is dynamic. It can be used as for the filling the blanks. True false के लिए भी ये sentence use किया जा सकता है. Constitution is dynamic, changeable. We can change it. Means it is not rigid. हमारी constitution rigid नहीं है. It is, and that's why it is a living document. और इसीलिए dynamic है, changeable है, इसीलिए वो एक living document है. The constitution has to change according to changing conditions, and the parliament has a power to make those changes. So according to the changing conditions, जैसे conditions change हो रही है, some provisions are useless for us. So Constitution has to change. Constitution change करते आनी चाहिए according to those changing conditions. बदलते समय के साथ, बदलती आवश्यकताओं के साथ हमने Constitutions को बदलते आना चाहिए. And this provision has been given in the Constitution that we can change the Constitution according to the changing conditions. Changing conditions के हिसाब से हम, बदलते हुए स्थिति के हिसाब से हम Constitution में बदलाव कर सकते हैं. And the Parliament has a power to make those changes. Who has? This can be asked in the filling the blanks again. Parliament. Okay, Parliament means upper house and lower house both. Means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So both combinedly, jointly are called parliament. So parliament has the power to make those changes. ये changes करने के rights किसके पास में है, power किसके पास में है, parliament के पास में है. Parliament can change the constitution according to the changing situations or conditions. The judiciary has accepted this power of the parliament to make changes in the constitution, and our judiciary has accepted this. Yes, Parliament has the power to make changes in the Constitution, but while making changes in the Constitution by the Parliament, at the same time specify the limitations on this power. Parliament has the power to change the Constitution, but at the same time, जैसे हमारे कुछ rights होते हैं, तो कुछ duties भी होती है. Okay, we have the right along with the duties. तो उसी तरह this power has some specified limitations. इस power पर कुछ limitations भी है. What kind of limitations? Let us know this. The judiciary has taken a stand that Parliament, while amending the Constitution, cannot alter the basic structure of the Constitution. So it is boundable to the Parliament that while making amendment in the Constitution, Parliament cannot change, cannot alter the basic structure of the Constitution. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर को पार्लियामेंट चेंज नहीं कर सकता है. ओनली अदर थिंग्स कैन बी चेंज. पार्लियामेंट कैन अमेंड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, बट बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर है उसको वो कुछ भी अल्टर नहीं कर सकता है. सो लेट अस नो व्हाट आर द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर. क्या है बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर हमारे, क्या है वो हम देख लेते हैं. Basic structure, the please understand, here is the basic structure has been given. It is also important, question can be created. What is the basic structure of the Constitution? Okay, basic structure Constitution का क्या है, what things, what provisions are included in the basic structure. Basic structure के provision में क्या include होता है ये भी इसमें दिया हुआ है. So the basic structure of the Constitution generally includes following provisions. First, Republican and democratic form of government. We have democracy, right? Democracy, हमारे यहाँ पर democratic system of the government है. So while making amendment, Parliament cannot change the democratic system. And it is the Republican representative system है, Republican है, public का rule होता है. So this is the basic structure, this is the provision of the basic structure, Republican and democratic form of the government. ये government का form रहेगा, we cannot change it, हम उसको change नहीं कर सकते हैं. Second, federal structure of the constitution. अब federal क्या है? Actually जैसे अमेरिका है, USA, that is also federal. Okay, India is also has also federal system, means the distribution of the power, state level, local level, central level government. So this is the federal structure of the Constitution. So that also cannot be changed. इसको भी हम change नहीं कर सकते हैं. Then promotion of unity and integrity of the nation. So government always, we should not change. That will harm the unity and integrity of the nation. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल माइनॉरिटीज के लिए सम रिजर्वेशन ऑफ सीट्स दिए जाते हैं. Women have been given some reservation of seats. SC ST categories have been, OBC categories have been given some reservation seats. So they are given to bring up them. उनका स्टेटस बढ़ाने के लिए उन्हें दिया है, सोशल जस्टिस एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए दिया है. So apart from that, there should not be discrimination on the basis of caste, religion, state, etc. Okay, so that can have, if we have removed from that from the Constitution, if we have changed it will harm the unity and integrity of the nation. Nation की unity और integrity को नुकसान हो जाएगा. So promotion of unity and integrity of the nation को हम, this is included in the basic structure of the Constitution, we cannot remove it. Then sovereignty of the nation, rule by the internal people, rule of the government, rule will be, this country will be ruled only by its own people. इसी country के लोग इसे rule करेंगे. External power will not control the internal or external affairs of the country. So sovereignty of the nation, अगर हमने sovereignty छोड़ दी, so फिर से हम slavery में चले जाएंगे. So we should not change this also. And the secularism and supremacy of the Constitution. Secularism, India has is the secular country. India has several religions, and in India, Indian Constitution has given right to the Indian people that anyone can follow any religious practice according to their own. So this cannot be changed, and supremacy of the Constitution. At last, the final will be the Constitution. Constitution will be the superpower. So this is the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. सेकेंड, सिग्निफिकेंट जुडिशियल डिसीजंस. हमारे कंट्री में हमारे हाई कोर्ट ने, हमारे जुडिशियल सिस्टम ने ऐसे बहुत से डिसीजंस लिए हैं जो दोज आर रियली appreciating. The protection provided to the citizens by fundamental rights in the constitution has been made more meaningful through various decisions of judiciary. Constitution has some fundamental rights. The provision of the fundamental rights has been given in the constitution. Through these fundamental rights, our citizens have been provided the protection. हमारे citizens को protection मिलता है by the fundamental rights. Those are mentioned in the constitution. So has been made more meaningful, and because of these fundamental rights, those are in constitution, made more meaningful when our judiciary system has taken some decisions. Because of some decisions of the judiciary system, those fundamental rights of the constitution become more meaningful. Some of the important subjects on which the court has given judgments includes rights of children. उनमें से कुछ ऐसे subjects हैं on which our Supreme Court has given some judgments. First is that right of children, rights of children, protection of human rights का protection of the honor and dignity of women, individual freedom and tribal empowerment. So such judgments proved that Supreme Court judicial system is really a guard of the constitution. Constitution को बचाने वाली, constitution के fundamental rights को बचा कर रखने वाला एक guard है judiciary system, ऐसा हम बोल सकते हैं. And these efforts have made the political process in India more mature. Because of such efforts that Indian judiciary system has taken, so that efforts have really made the Indian democracy more mature. This is also important to understand that democracy requires good governance or best governing practices. डेमोक्रेसी में गवर्नमेंट, गुड गवर्नेंस होना बहुत अच्छा है. अगर आइडियल गवर्नमेंट है, आइडियल गवर्नेंस सिस्टम, गवर्निंग सिस्टम है, so then democracy sustains greatly and it becomes more stronger. It becomes stronger. Following are the features of good governance. It is also asked in the web chart. Question में भी पूछा जा सकता है. So properly read and understand them. So what are the features of the good governance? Good governance के features क्या हैं? So what should be done to bring good governance in democracy? Democracy में हमने अच्छा governance लाने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? So first, our government should be accountable and responsible. Government कैसी होनी चाहिए? Accountable, answerable होनी चाहिए. RTI. Remember, because of the RTI, our government is accountable and responsible. Responsible बन गई है. Effective and efficient government. कैसी government होनी चाहिए? Effective and efficient होनी चाहिए. जैसे कि मोदी साहब की गवर्नमेंट इफेक्टिव है, एफिशिएंट है, इमीडिएट डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं, इफेक्टिवली इंप्लीमेंट किया जाता है. सो ऐसी गवर्नमेंट होनी चाहिए. इफेक्टिव एंड एफिशिएंट गवर्नमेंट होनी चाहिए. रिस्पॉन्सिव गवर्नमेंट होनी चाहिए. इफ रिस्पॉन्सिबल गवर्नमेंट है, रिस्पॉन्सिव है, रिस्पॉन्स देती है, इट इज गिविंग रिस्पॉन्स टू द पब्लिक ओपिनियन, है ना, ऐसी गवर्नमेंट चाहिए. ट्रांसपेरेंसी इन वर्किंग ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. आरटीआई अगेन, ट्रांसपेरेंसी इन वर्किंग. गवर्नमेंट के वर्किंग में ट्रांसपेरेंसी होनी चाहिए. नथिंग शुड बी सीक्रेसी. Just and all inclusive development. It must be the aim of the government. If the ideal government is there, it is justful, it is lawful and all inclusive development. It looks after the all inclusive development. सभी का development होना चाहिए. ये aim, ये objective government का होता है and lawful होती है. People's participation in the governing and decision making process. The government should be like that increase the participation of the people in the governing and decision making process. So these are features. If any government has these features, ये features अगर किसी government में है, then this government is the ideal government. This is the good governance. Okay. Further we are going to study. Please understand. Let us read this also. Find out the judgments given by the Supreme Court on the above subjects in recent years. Recent years we have studied that Ram Janmabhoomi's that issue was that and a crisis. It has been solved by the Supreme Court. So such type of various issues or crises are there. You can study from the Google. In this chapter we took a review of the constitution. हमने constitution क्या होती है वो पूरा इसमें देखा है, and the working of the government on the basis of the constitution in the context of Indian democracy. So we in Indian democracy Indian democracy जो है, so the government, working of the government which is based on the constitution, and how regarding to the Indian democracy, how the Indian democracy is there, and in Indian democracy how the government is working on the basis of the Indian constitution. There are many challenges before Indian democracy. It is not that Indian democracy does not have to face any challenge. There are a lot of challenges in our Indian democracy, just like the problem of the terrorism is also there. So corruption is also there. So many challenges are there in front of the India's democracy. Government's act and policies have not put an end to all the problems. It is sure that government's acts and policies are not fully resolve the problems, but there are several new problems confronting us, but some are resolved and other new also comes in front of us, stands in front of us. So several new problems came to us, stands in front of us, and however what is important is that the people in India have developed a democratic mindset. But it is important, more important, that whatever the problems are coming in front of the government is trying to resolve the problems or issues, but the mindset of the people in India is really developed as the democratic mindset. Indian people ने अपने mind को ही democratic mind बना लिया है, and that's why it is important for Indian democracy. So in the next chapter we will study the election process in India. How is the election process? How the elections are conducted? What is the election commission and how it works? We are going to study everything. So thank you for today. Thank you. Keep watching and keep learning, keep studying, and do the best of luck. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and give a like and press the bell icon for the new upcoming videos. Thank you.